Good evening, everyone. My name is Christian Allen with another journey in my journey, making a podcast, video, vlog for Franklin Hernandez and the Pest Geek podcast, and also my video series, The Journey in the Journey. Today I'm going to make a video and speed up the process to get it posted, at least on my end, because October 26th. Does anybody know what that day means? I do. It is the 1-year birthday or anniversary of TaylorMade Pest Control. Well, that's right, folks. 1 year from today, or a year ago today, I officially started the entrepreneurship journey with my pest control company, TaylorMade Pest Control. And man, it's been a fun year. It's been a fun ride. Lots of downs and lots of ups and downs. And it's just been a fun ride. And I want to make a video saying thank you first and foremost to all of my customers, whether they're one-time people or people that are using me on a regular basis. I wouldn't be able to do it without you all. And then, really before that, so zero, the pre-thank you would be to my wife, Contea. She's put up with a lot of shit. I don't tell her enough and I don't thank her enough. But she's really been the rock of our relationship, but then also has been the reason why I have been able to start a risky venture like starting a business. Before I started this company, I left another smaller company, pest control company, where I was making about $75,000 a year. That was tough to leave. Tough to leave that income where I was making really, really good money. And before, when I worked for another company, I was the breadwinner. I was the moneymaker for the family, and while we split bills and everything, it's I bought the house. It was my house, and I paid most of the bills, and we shared the bills and stuff. But I mostly, anything extra I generally paid for, and I was fine with that because I made the more money. Well, going in and starting my business, I knew we were going to have to cut things. I knew it was going to be uncomfortable. And I also knew I was going to have to be okay as a man. Normally society says the man is the provider of the house. I was going to have to swallow pride and be okay with not being the provider for our little family. I was going to have to be okay, and my wife, Contea, she had to be okay with and sign off with being that financial provider for the family. We talked a little bit about it, but she was 130 and 200 and 1,000% behind me starting my business. She pushed me. She knew I was super unhappy with where I was at. And so if it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have taken the venture. So I really thank my wife for supporting me, encouraging me, being here when I'm depressed and down and sad because something bad happened or something wasn't going my way or I lost a sale. Or whatever the case may be through this year journey that I had. She's been here through thick and thin. Starting a business is not for the faint of heart. You have to have a lot of gumption, a lot of fortitude to push through it. It's horrible on relationships. Whoever said there is a such thing as a work-life balance lied to you. So don't fall for the lie. There is no such thing as a work-life balance. And before I owned my business, I'm a workaholic. So the wife already kind of knew that going into this. But I've always worked my ass off and worked long hours and worked more than on work than probably our relationship. But starting a business, there is no day off. Phone rings on the weekend, you take it, you sell that job. Customer can't be there, during the week to meet you, so you meet them on a Saturday. The countless hours I spent on my website and social media platforms to get the word out that I'm here and I'm another option, and I think a better option for pest control in the Louisville, Southern Indiana market. So, social media, website, taking calls, complaints, it's not all been good. I've got a couple places that are giving me a little bit of a hard time on, but I have to be the face. I have to be patient. I have to, take some people that are late on paying and deal with that, either cutting people off or, working with people to pay me money because they're going through some financial things. Buying equipment and stuff, I've been, I guess it's forethought without being forethought, but, over the last couple years, I really got into pest control and really enjoyed it. And I started buying my own company, not because I thought I was going to start my own business. I was super happy with where I was at. I had no desire to leave and start my own company, which, I should have done it a couple years ago. But because of that, I really had no desire to. I knew the hard work there I was going to have to put into it, and I had no desire to do that. But I like technology. Everybody knows I love technology. I love new gadgets. So I had to spend my own money to buy new tools and equipment to make my life better as a technician, making somebody else money. And I was fine with that. I was happy. I was getting paid really good money, and I was okay with reinvesting into myself to better help myself and the company. Well, because of that, I've been super fortunate to where I had bought a lot of things I didn't need to buy initially right off the bat because I already had it. So call it forethought. I just call it luck or blessed or, stupid ignorance or whatever, happenstance. But I didn't have a lot of money saved up. So there was no planning involved in this. When I quit my job, I didn't have the LPCO, the licenses required to even start a business. You're like, what? You didn't have everything lined up? No. I had probably about $2,500 saved up in savings. And that was it. But technically, the reason why I was able to start today and not in November, later, a couple months down the road, is because Indiana made it super easy. I already had my applicator's licenses. All I had to do is show insurance. So 2 weeks ago, from last year today, had my insurances lined up and was able to start. But with that being said, I started October 26th. But it was like December 13th or 14th, 10th, 12th, somewhere in December, before I got my first sale. I had a couple calls here or there, but I didn't make any money for 2 months. So you're like, how do you survive? Well, one, the wife paid 60-70% of the bills. But then two, the other person I am so thankful for and truly blessed to have in my corner is my best friend, James Shields. Everybody knows, have heard me talk about him. If you've ever listened to me about any way I started my business or whatever the case may be, or you've heard me talk about how he started his business, everybody knows I'm super thankful for him, and I hope he understands, and I hope he knows that I am super thankful to him for everything he's done for me. He pushed me to start my own business. He's been telling me for years I should start my own business and I have what it takes to start my own business and do it. And I haven't listened to him. I pushed him off. Yeah, I don't really want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. But he was needing a scooper. I was going to need some extra income coming in to survive. And so he gave me a full-time job, with flexibility to work on my business while I work for him. And so for, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, for 7 months, I worked full time working for him, scooping dog poop, while I prepared and got this business started. Yes, I had to take a week off in November to take Dr. Christensen's course so I could pass the LPCO test. I had to take another day off to take that test in Lexington. I think I took 2 days off for that. There was another day or 2 days that I took off to go see Paul Bello in Indianapolis. And, and then, as just calls came in, I took them during the day when I was working for him. When I got jobs sold, all I had to do was tell him, hey man, I got this job coming in and I need to go do it. I'm gonna try to finish as much as I can, but I might not finish everything to make my later afternoon appointment, or I need to start later because I have a couple of morning jobs lined up. And then it got to the point in March where, I was getting too many calls, and I couldn't have let him hold a position for me when I knew I wasn't going to be able to give him the time he needed and the energy he needed to keep working for him. So I told him, look, man, I'm too busy. You need to find somebody else, and I need to do pest control full time. And so, I am so thankful for James. He's been able to help me in a couple pest control jobs. He went and got his license so he could help me. I am super thankful. I was able to watch him 6-7 years ago start his own business. And I watched him progress from zero to, I think they're going to do 850,000 this year. 10 or 13 employees. So it's amazing. And so I've been able to emulate his growth model and implement it in my business and make it my own. So my wife, first and foremost, gets the biggest praise. James, my buddy, gets the next biggest praise. And then, maybe before James, I'm saying I'm after James, but obviously my parents, my mom and dad, they have been 100 and 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1,000,000% behind me. I started my own business. Yeah, they live in Delaware and, not locally, but just the mental support, the emotional support, knowing that, they support me in the decisions I made, leaving the other company and starting my own. So people look at it, or people may look at the post that I make like, oh, he's egotistical, he's bragging about everything that he's done, and he's done this, and Christian has done that, and Chris has did this, and Christian has done that. And to an extent, I'm pretty proud and egotistical person, but in reality, I would not have been able to do this without my wife, without James, and without my parents. And even my old boss in the company I worked for. They gave me the starter knowledge and a start in the industry to be able to take my knowledge and go apply it for myself. So while me and the other company kind of left on not the greatest terms, I am super thankful for him and for my coworkers and for his wife and for his company at giving a 21-year-old kid a chance to work and make a career. No college education, a high school degree, and that's it. And just hard work. And, you know, I've taught myself a lot of things. As the years progressed, I got more and more interested in pest control, and I started teaching myself, and I started reading books, and I started reading articles, and I started watching videos and trying things on my own and this and that to get me to where I'm at today. But if it wasn't for the company and the owner that I worked for before, I wouldn't be able to make any of this possible. And so I am forever grateful to them, and for everything that they've done for my success. And you know, I'll just go out and say it. Charlie was a childhood friend, high school friend of my dad, and you know that's how I got the job originally. Was he was looking for somebody, like I'm looking for a full-time job, and Charlie is a great man. I have nothing but respect for him. We didn't see eye to eye on some things, and that's okay. It's his company, not my company, and he's the boss and the owner, so that's, you know, his prerogative. And they're a very successful company, you know, small 4 to 5 man company, doing a great job running and making good money and providing good service for Kentucky, Louisville, and southern Indiana. But you know, it's I'm forever grateful for Charlie, and I hope he knows this. You know, I hope he knows that I'm super thankful for him and the opportunity he gave me. So there's that. But yeah, it's been a great year. You know, I will say entrepreneurship, ownership is not for everyone. If you don't have a good support system like I have, I just explained my whole support system. And if you don't have a good support system, it's going to be really difficult. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible, but it'd be really difficult. But if you also don't have the work ethic, Franklin Hernandez, the founder of the Pest Geek podcast, he made a post about a listener asked him, I guess, let me find it. Do you have a podcast and how you break down starting your own company? And he wanted other answers. And so I commented on a post, and he wanted me to make a video. So I will make a separate video on it, but I'll do this real quick. I said, first and foremost, just do it. Like I said, James has been telling me to do this for years, and I just did it now. So what could have been if I did it 2 or 3 years ago and not just a year ago? Who knows? There's no point in harping and thinking about what could have been, because it's over and done with. Can't control it, whatever. But just do it, like the Nike slogan. 2, get a second or third job to supplement your income that you lost while you build your company. Unless you buy a company where you have money, a lot of money saved up, which is, in this day and age, it's really hard to save that type of money up. You're probably not going to have the money to start a company. And not too many banks or lenders are just going to lend you money to start a company. So you're going to have money coming in from a second and third job to supplement yourself while you start your own company. Again, like I said, I worked for Derby City Poop Skip and James, scooping dog poop, 40 plus hours a week. And then on top of that, I was taking real estate photo audits for a real estate transaction, making extra money on top of the poop scooping money, the little bit of money I was making with this, and making that money to supplement income that I lost. But the majority of my money was going towards this business. So I could, you know, I was putting gasoline on this fire to get me to where I'm at today. So you're going to have to be okay with working around the clock, be tired. I don't know what it's like to be rested anymore. I don't think I've been well rested in a long time. I can't think of a time when I have been. So you're just exhausted, you're just tired, but you're just going to have to push through it and know that working 2 or 3 jobs is not forever. It's short term until you get your business to where you are. For me, it took me about 8 months to get rid of everything, all the other income I had coming in, and just focus and live on pest control. But coming this winter, I don't know. I might need another job to help supplement this, which is fine. The first couple years, I'm going to have the first couple years are the hard time. They say 20% of companies fail the first year, and then another percentage fails second. They say if you make it 5 years, I think, then you're a successful company. So I got a long time to go. I don't know if this thing's going to work out still. I hope it does, and I'm doing everything I can to make it work out. So that's the second thing. Third thing, do things the right way from the beginning. When I first started out, everybody was telling me Gorilla Desk. It's cheap. It works great. Or Poconos, cheap. I had other people tell me free options. But I did my due diligence. Gorilla Desk really didn't talk to me too much, so I never got a demo done with them. And I've heard some bad things about them, but I think they fixed. Poconos just looked like an old software from the 90s, had no interest with that. I had to use BrioStack with the former company I had worked, with SWAT team and Charlie with, and uber expensive. There were things I didn't like about the software. They'd come a long ways, and when we first got it to where we are now, but wasn't happy with it. Finally ended up with Pest Routes, and Pest Routes is $200 a month, and versus Gorilla Desk, I think they're saying it's going to be like 50, maybe $100 a month. So half the cost of what I was paying initially, with no money coming in. Again, remember, I had no money. I started October 26th. I think it was December 13th. Let me look. When was my first job? We'll go back and look. Hold on one second. Pulling up the trusty iPad, and we're going to go back and see when was my first job. I know it was December. It was 13th. It's going to take me a while to find it. I did one December 31st. I did one December 29th, 28th. I had 3 jobs the 27th, 19th. Maybe it was the 4th. Okay, well, my first job was December 4th, but that was my wife's grandma, so that counts. So that was my first job, was December 4th. So October, November, December. So almost 2 months without getting my first call. And then my first call that wasn't a family member was December 9th. So almost a month, a month and a half, 2 months it took me before my first call, my first job that I did. And so I was going to pay $200 a month with signing a 2-year commitment to Pest Routes for something I didn't know if it was going to work out or not. But I liked what Pest Routes had to offer. I liked the layout, and it looked like it was going to grow with me. So I had to decide, is this going to be a hobby, or is this going to be a business that in 20 years, 30 years, I can sell and live comfortably, or maybe never sell and pass down to my kids for them to live comfortably with doing more than $1 million a year in revenue. So yeah, I saw me over $1 million in revenue within, in 10 years. So what's $200 a month? Yeah, it costs me a lot of money now, but in the long run, changing software sucks. Again, James, he's been through Yellowbook, Sweep and Go. Now Jobber, this is his 3rd software. It's a pain in the ass. I've seen him switch softwares, and it sucks. I have no desire to do it. I wish I did that with the phone system, but it's okay. I've gone through 3 different phone systems now with Voice for Pests. I'll do another video on them, and I'm happy with them. But I started with a cheaper option, and I had to switch to Grasshopper, and now Voice for Pests, which Voice for Pests would not have worked without an office admin that I have now. So It works then most times, but be willing to spend money that you may not have necessarily now if you think you're going to grow and scale this company to any decent size, whether it's 200,000 to 300,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, over $1 million a year, whatever your goals are. Start acting like that now. Obviously, you can't spend money like that now. Obviously, I had to pick and choose where I spent my money at. But investing in things that were going to help me grow the business, that's where I had to spend the money to make the money I'm making now. So that's that. Do things right from the beginning. Switching software sucks in companies. And then fourth, I can't take credit for this. I tell people I'm not an inventor. I'm not a forward, bright thinker. I'm a dumb guy that breaks all the stereotypes of an Asian person. I'm horrible at math. I hate math, and mentally, I'm just not the brightest bulb in the pack, which is fine. But nobody's gonna outwork me, and so that's if you're willing to work and put the effort into it to learn everything that you need to learn, then you're definitely going to get you to where you need to be. Hard work will overpower smarts and talent any day of the week, all day, every day, 7 days a week, 365. But being a copycat is a good sign of admiration towards other people and their ideas. But successful people take ideas from other people and make it into your own. So with that being said, this fourth idea, multiply your goals and the effort you're willing to put into it by 10, because it'll take more effort and work than you ever expect it to be. And this is coming from Grant Cardone, the 10X rule. He says, take your goal. You say you want to make $100,000, a year in revenue. Well, you don't want $100,000, you want $1 million, because $1 million is 10 times the amount of 100,000. They say post 1 time a day. Well, screw it. Post 10 times a day. Because starting a business, doing anything worth its value in salt, is going to take more effort, more time, more money than you ever expect. Don't go into it thinking that's going to take this amount of time and this amount of effort to do it. No, go in and say, look, I want $100,000. I want $1 million a company. I want to make $1 million, because if you don't make $1 million, say you hit 850,000, you just crushed your goal by 8, or whatever the number is. So that's why he says most businesses fail, is because they underestimate how much money, how much time, and how much effort it needs to make that business successful. So if you multiply it by 10, while that might be an astronomical, impossible number to hit, when you don't hit it, it's like what Vince Lombardi says. I know everybody sees my Packer stuff in the back and think I'm a Packer fan, and I love Brett Favre, and I love sports. But Vince Lombardi, another Packer, his favorite saying that I love is, we strive for perfection, because in the pursuit of perfection, we hit excellence. And that's the mindset right there. We want perfection. We want to be perfect, but we all know nobody's perfect except God and his only son, Jesus Christ. So we all want perfection, but we're all going to fall short of being perfect. And but in that pursuit of perfection, we hit excellence. And that's where I want to be. I want to be an excellent pest control company. But I try to be the perfect pest control company, knowing that I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. TaylorMade ain't going to be perfect. So those are my keys to success pretty much in starting a company, and kind of what I've used to, get me to where I'm at today. Everybody says, oh, you post way too much. 4 times a day, you're going to get people unfollow you all the time. Well, I don't know if I got people unfollowing me. And that's another Grant Cardone thing. First, you're going to get the naysayers. But you got to get past the naysayers. Because once you get past the naysayers, you can get the people who admire you. And that's where I'm at right now. I get a lot of people. I still get hate. I still get people, when I first started, and I started this journey, I had a lot of people reach out to me, giving me advice, a lot of sound advice. James Sneed, Josh Albert, Pete LaCoria reached out. Nate Bowling reached out. Kenny Vance, my buddy, reached out. And, there's all these different people reached out to me. Paul Bello reached out to me. Terry Shepard. I can't think of everybody. There's too many people that reached out and gave me great advice. But then I've also other people that reached out and said, there's no way you're going to be successful, or maybe you'll make something out of it, but you ain't going to hit the success you think you want, that you say you want, because I didn't have $100,000 saved up, or I didn't sell a company for $100,000 or a couple $100,000 that I could use to fuel to start my own company, or I was starting in the wintertime, which honestly, I have a buddy that just started, since spring, and he's doing well. He's doing really well. I ain't got no, he shouldn't have any complaints, and I think he's doing a great job starting his own company. Aaron Harper with Knockout. We've collaborated on a lot of jobs, but he started in March. I started in October, going into the slow season. He started going into the busy season. But I think, and I thank James Sneed and James Shields for this, pushing me into starting now versus later. Because that was my original goal, to start in March. And I'm glad I didn't, because I feel like starting now and having that 2 months of no calls, it gave me time to work on my website, work on my social media presence, work on myself, and get things together to really be able to hit the ground running when busy season came. And that's what happened in March. It just kind of took off, and I've just been busy, and slowing down now a little bit, which is fine. Gives me time to do things, but I was able to really hone and get my name out for people to hear, to get me to where I am now. It took, like I said, it took a month and a half, 2 months to get my first call. And we just closed the year with closing today. We have closed this year, my 12 months. According to Pete, you don't say it's a year old. It's a 12-month-old company. So I closed out this 12-month-old company with, where's that number? I just had it pulled up. It's over 100,000. With $103,724 is what I've done in total revenue for a 12-month period. So in reality, all $100,000 came within 10 months and not 12 months. And I do think that I credit that to starting now in October versus starting in March. And so that'd be another thing I'd advise companies to do, because I've already kind of weathered a winter. It's not like the first official winter. So I'll see how we do this year winter. But I weathered a winter. I weathered a slow season without making any money. So I'd advise any company to figure out when the busy season is and start in the slow season. Get all your ducks in a row now when you can, without having to run around with chicken in the head cut off doing all that. Because I did that. I changed answering service. I hired and then let go of somebody and hired again when I'm running around with my head cut off like a chicken. And it sucks trying to get everybody done. You get people calling. I'm maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks out, booked, working sun up to sundown to get new customers coming in, how to push regular customers down a little bit to get new people coming in, to keep that new revenue coming in and flowing and all that nice jazz. And I really think I've benefited from listening to other people like James Sneed for where I'm at today. And so Franklin has offered this podcast platform for me, and I'm thankful for that too. It's just it's a wonderful thing. And I am, it's been a great year. It's been a great journey. And I can't wait to see what this next 12 months is. So they say after 2, I guess that's when you start seeing years. So 2 years. We'll see next year how I'm looking, and I think I'm going to have to hire somebody in a couple months to help, with the growth that I'm hoping to see next year. I'm hoping to pretty much double what we've done this year. So I'm hoping to do like 250,000 next year. And so that's going to be a lot for me just to handle on my own. So I'm definitely going to have to hire, somebody else. So, it's been a wild, crazy ride. And it's been a fun one. It's been a tiring one. But I can't wait to see what this year's bring. So like I said, I've done over 100,000 this year. I hired an office admin that's working full time, helping me answer the phone, schedule my stuff. I, joke around. I don't know who's the boss, her or me. She tells me what I got to do and where I got to be, and I forget things and overbook things and fuck up the schedule. And she gets me back on the straight and narrow. So I'm extremely thankful for Sarah and everything she's done for me too. Just kind of wrapping up this video. It's been a super great ride, and I'm excited to see. I've got like 10 other topics to make videos on, so I'm super behind. I know Franklin might be a little bit behind posting some of the videos I've made. So I don't know when this is going to drop for him, but I'll have this done either today or tomorrow on my page. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this my journey and the journey update on the Pest Geek podcast and my channel. If you like this video, please subscribe to Franklin's channel, the Pest Geek podcast. He has plethora of knowledge on business, on bugs, on SEO. I know he's been harping on SEO people all, the last couple weeks, but he's got an encyclopedia of information, just in videos and blog, in podcast form, and I think also blog. You can follow him on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I think, LinkedIn, YouTube. And if you like this video, please follow me. I'm on Facebook, Christian Pest Control Allen. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at CDAllen76. The company is TaylorMade Pest Control, and it's at TaylorMade PC. I'm on LinkedIn, Christian Allen. I'm on Nextdoor, Christian Allen. TikTok, CDAllen76, and at TaylorMade PC. So please like, share, and subscribe to these videos. I made an introduction video, but I made these videos to be inspiration to others. I've been super blessed to have James to model my own company after. And I know there's a lot of people that want to start their own company, but maybe don't know how to. And that's what this video series is supposed to be, a vlog for me to look back on and be like, oh, I thought I was dealing with a lot of shit back then. Whew, ain't nothing compared to now. And that's so true. But then also for just so others know that there's other people out there, because ownership is super lonely. You can't talk to friends, you can't talk to a lot of family members about it, because people just don't understand the struggles, the stress, the heartaches of being an owner. They think you're an owner, you make a lot of money, and it's all rose, biscuits, and gravy. And that's not the case. And so you need to find other business owners to be able to vent to and talk to that can relate to everything you're going through. And I am fortunate to have a network of people around the world that I can bounce ideas and vent to on a daily and weekly and monthly basis. So if I can be that to you, I'd love to. You can hit me up at christian@taylormadepestcontrol.com, or you can call or text me anytime. Number is 502-558-7518. So that being said, I'm going to sign off. I am starving. believe the wife just got home, and I can't wait to eat. So I'll see you guys next time.